Today, September 17th, and yesterday or day before yesterday, I posted a video about how they gave me this bite here. It wasn't visible back then yesterday, but now you can see it clearly as it has developed into a red mark. Do you see that? Okay, so anyways, you saw that initially when it was focused. So this red mark, it developed into this mark because I showed you a bug on the couch, and that bug, it was part of a witchcraft because I was seated in my cross-leg position, and if my legs are crossed, then this part is touching this part, and I got a bite here on this leg. So my left leg was, on the top of the right leg, but the part where you saw the bite, that was touching my right leg, and it was such a tight fit, like tight lock, because I was, the way I was sitting is, I was having a little pressure on that. So it's not possible even for a bug to crawl. I mean, even if it will crawl, I will feel the crawl, and then later, so what happened, I told you the end, I explained how there were two loads in the dryer. So for the first load, I took it out from the dryer. It's in the basket, all the dry clothes, and I'm sitting on the couch. There's nothing on the couch, no insects, nothing. And then I'm just folding the clothes, nothing happened. Only for the second load, when I went to get the second load, that is when, and again, all the folded clothes were in the basket. I already placed it back in the closet. And then for the second load that I put it in the basket, I'm folding it. That is when I got the bite. Now, I mean, after I was done, I immediately noticed, okay, there's a bite, and I started to feel itch and all that, okay? So then I'm like, okay, and I didn't see, even after I took away all the clothes from the couch, all the folded clothes, still there was no insect. I didn't see anything. I placed, even for the second load, I placed all of it in the closet, okay? And then later when I'm doing ironing the third set of the clothes that I had kept it on the side for ironing, those clothes I kept it on the couch, and one by one, like I was taking, to iron it. That is when, once I was done ironing and I'm taking back the clothes, that is when I noticed this dead bug was there, okay? So they were trying to show, it's a bug bite. There's just a bug there. No, it wasn't a bug. And if it was that alive, then it wouldn't be dead immediately, right? But anyways, I didn't feel any crawling, and there was nothing. So why they gave me this bite? There's always a reason for these. These are not random activities going on with the insects activities in my house. All these are orchestrated for the same purpose, super interrogation, as Dr. Richard Boylan says. So what had happened was, I told you how my father-in-law took out all his load of the, from the washing machine, and he kept it on the counter, right? And then my clothes were hanging from the hanger, so the longer clothes were almost, little away from his clothes, the heap of clothes that he had kept. And I am kind of person, because of their hygiene programming to, that they've done for so many years with me, I always try to wipe down all my dryers, disinfect all the dryers and, the washers, everything before I take out then I wash my hands, and then I take out my washed clothes from the washer, and I place it in the dryer. Because what kind of dirty hands we might have touched the door with, and the power button and all that, right? So it's just that I always wipe it down. So he's not going to do all that with his load, right? Now, I don't know what kind of hands he might have, just by accident he might have touched the long clothes or whatever it is, So I was just having this thinking, because I already saw when somebody else was here, I already saw them, how their clothes and all these things were like touching or washed clothes. I'm like, oh gosh, I'll have to wash it again. So what I did was, the longer ones that, were long, that is what I left it on the hanger for. I needed it to rewash it just in case. And all the shorter ones that were higher up, I took it and, I was just drying it. So they want to make issue about that. Oh, look, your clothes have some kind of microorganism or bugs or something in there. I told you they hone into what I'm thinking and then they react accordingly. And all this is happening because Billy Crone pastor, who knows exactly what witchcraft is and all this, he refused to speak up and he blocked me on Twitter, and he refused to help me, right, or speak against these crimes of witchcraft and voodoo. Then comes Almas Jacob. He did the same thing. So all these people are criminal. FBI, CIA, Gerald Sospi, Barbara Hartwell, Suja Vijayan, Ramola Dharmraj, Karen Stewart. All these people, they are all criminals. NSA, CIA, FBI, Dr. Stephen Greer, Dr. Richard Boylan. All these people, Delta Force, military, all these people, they're all criminals. And the Maui, this Hawaii guy who we're talking about directed energy weapons and how they block the road and how they didn't turn on the sirens and all that, right? They just want to speak up for Maui because they are the real estate agents. Oh, we're just going to speak up for them. But what all of this is related to the main entity, it's the same entity, the same government, same federal agencies, same people who are orchestrating all these voodoos and witchcraft and directed energy weapons and neuropsychotronic weapons and induced crime wave and all of this stuff is the same people who did Maui, the same people. They are doing it on me. But no, then they don't want to speak up, right? So obviously that makes them criminal because they are just doing for their own gain and purpose, just for Maui people. Oh, we're not going to talk about anybody else. Because these people were so sure that even when I sent email to these people about all these things, they were continuously giving me so much shooting pain in my right abdomen, in my little bit electric shock here and there, and pulling off my ear. All this was going on. See, if these people knew that these Maui real estate agents, who are speaking up for Maui residents and speaking against all these crimes and all that, if they will speak up for my crime, if they knew it, then they wouldn't have the guts to do anything more physical harm to me. But they continued because all of these people choose to keep quiet. So that makes them a part of the criminal, cabal. And obviously one of the guy even went to post a video where his thumbnail was one eye symbolism. So we know that he's a part of Illuminati. So one of the Maui resident, was it Jesse or was it Eric? I saw, one eye in one of his thumbnail. So this is how they talk to people, in symbolism. And that all made sense, even this diving deep Ralph Smart calling himself, oh look, you're the chosen ones and you're this and that and all that. No, he's not smart. He's not there to help people. He's just BSing. And I saw how many followers he has, like more than like million followers and all that. He's just there to make money. Okay. So obviously I sent him the same. I in fact requested him to speak up against these crimes and all these things, but no, he didn't even say a word. He totally ignored me. I sent him so many times his Twitter messages, and it's not like he was getting like 50 messages in one day. No, he was barely getting 2 or 3 messages. So you're telling me that he did not check his Twitter? When he's posting every single day, there is 4 to 5 posts from him on Twitter. So he's not checking what people have just written to him? And barely there are like 2, 3 or 3, 4 people writing to him every day. Barely. Anyways. So obviously we know all these people are actual criminals. They work for Illuminati, they work for Satanists. Same thing for JW Workout, that YouTuber guy. Okay, these people just act as if they're telling the truth and they're exposing Illuminati. But it's all like, how Almas Jacob says that Elon Musk is a controlled opposition. Just like that. These people are nothing but like controlled opposition, Now they just started to give me shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen as I'm saying that how Elon Musk is a controlled opposition. So when I said that all these people are like controlled opposition, so, oh, no, don't say that they are not controlled opposition. So obviously they are part of the crime. They choose to be a part of your cabal by, keeping it, not speaking against you all. So that means they are part of the crimes. They are part of this criminal, thing that is going on. So obviously, they are part of Satanists. It just makes them the part of Satanists, right? If they cannot speak up against these crimes. Because it's not just one me who is going through all this. there are so many TIs and chosen ones around all over the globe, I heard, that are going through all this, that these people are harassing and torturing. Just I showed you that Canadian girl in Canada, sorry, Indian girl in Canada, how she was targeted, tortured, by psychotronic weapons, directed energy weapons, and all of this, right? It's on the Ramola Dharmrad's website called everydayconcerned.net. Yeah, these people are so much concerned that they choose not to expose my crimes, and they will have the fake TIs like Jural Sosby come on their, channel and give this speeches after speeches. Oh, look, he's such a TI. No, he's not a TI. He's just a fake TI. Okay. So I just wanted to show that how these people continuously do all these witchcraft. And even yesterday I didn't made a video, but for the small video I had made, I forgot to record this. So I was making a vegetable curry, and they were like I made like almost like say entire pot was like filled with these vegetables, right? Now what happened was I just noticed like 2-3 the pieces was a little bit burnt, and so I like took it out, and so they immediately, like while I'm doing that, and I didn't take out the rest, I didn't feel like it was that much burnt, it was just brown a little bit. So they immediately gave me like a small stone in my mouth. Imagine I wasn't eating anything, I'm cooking, I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking, I'm in front of the stove, there's nothing in my mouth, but there was a very small piece of stone that immediately appeared in my mouth. And it kind of disappears too. So you know this is all witchcraft. Billy Crone knows exactly all this witchcraft voodoo thing, right? And that is why Jehovah's Witnesses came to my house for 2 straight years. Every weekend they'll show up. They'll just park the car right there. Okay? They'll park the car right there. And usually they'll just go to a few houses just to initially show me that, oh, they're, giving away these Jesus Christ flyers. But then later, I noticed that they were literally wearing Indian dress. Then they would just come to my house and then leave. Then they were not even taking time to go to any other houses to distribute Jesus Christ flyers. And then later when Elmas Jacob exposed Jehovah's Witnesses that they are Satanists, they believe in Satan and Lucifer, they do all this human sacrifice, child sacrifice, and animal sacrifice. Oh my gosh, that is when I realized, because this Satan does everything upside down for him. Truth is false, false is truth, evil is good, good is evil, good is bad, and bad is good, whatever, right? So this is exactly what was going on. They're trying to give me Jesus Christ, as if I am the evil or something like that. And they are trying to show themselves, oh, they are such a holy people. And then I realized, oh, they are so unholy, they are so satanic and devil evil people. And they were just trying to do reverse mind programming on me, like reverse psychology on me, So all this BS was going on. And only after that, they took my handwritten name. And only after all these things, BS started to happen in my life. Like all these physical marks on my body, even sleep paralysis. Once just happened, sleep paralysis they gave me. They are giving me all these kind of twitches and shooting needle pains and palpitations, and even they can do it in my bones, like I told you how they swell, sometimes they swell my tongue, or sometimes they give, it's not really ulcer, but it's kind of, how you get acne kind of thing. It just shows up in the right side of my cheek, sorry, not cheek, the gum part inside, like in my mouth on the right side. But it's not really like white thing, it's just a little bit of bump, I feel it, but that's it. This is not burn or anything. But yesterday I told you how they gave me burn here, like it just started to burn here. And then yesterday when I was talking about that burn, after that they gave me, you see there's also can you see that little bump over there? See, exactly in that position. I showed you the left side, but then they gave me on the right side, they gave me this little bump, and it was itchy also. So you see how they synchronize even the location, because I showed you, see, there is still red mark here. You see that red mark? This was the burn mark they gave via directed energy weapons. When I told you how for the lemon thing they wanted to make issue, and why they connected lemon juice that I was using for my salad they connected that lemon juice with the lemons that my mother-in-law used to make her fritters, but I did not let her fry because the container, the oil container was, there are 4 stoves, and so it was on the back side of the stove. I mean back stove, and not in the front stove. And she's small, like the height is small, and so she cannot. I mean, she can reach, but like she has to pull her hand out to like fry. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. You don't do it. So I was doing it. I fried all the fritters and I fried all of it. And I told her like not to do it. So I don't know. So they just want to make issue about that. You said it. Oh look, and oh no, and that wasn't the only issue. But then that particular container, initially I just asked her, do you want it in the front, because I know she liked to fry, do the fritters and all that. So she's like, no, if the container spills on us, then we get burnt. I'm like, okay. Then I placed it on the back side, and in fact I didn't even let her fry. I did all the frying. But just because she said that, oh, if it spills on us, then will get burned. So the lemon juice, they're connecting it with the balls that she prepared to fry. And that container was initially I kept it in the front part because she's small and she wanted to make these fritters. So all of that they connected. And because any person will say one thing and they will want to synchronize for super interrogation purpose. So, if it falls on our feet, then we can get burned. So just at that one thing, and they immediately gave me a burn, because I felt a burn here. You can see the red mark. It is still red here. And immediately I found so much burn. I'm like, oh, so this is directed energy weapons. Okay? That is not witchcraft. This is witchcraft here. Right? I showed you. Right here. This is a witchcraft. That is not a directed energy weapon, because this was part of my that bug bite they gave me, because it was so itchy. It was extremely itchy. I had immediate bump and there was no burn. With the directed energy weapons, it's burn usually associated with it. Okay, so this is how I differentiate what is the directed energy weapons and what is the voodoo part. But nobody will speak up for me against these crimes, and they will continuously use my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, anything. They will do one thing. Okay, and these people not realizing that so many times I told them that you tell one thing and these people are reacting against it. Okay, and so I'm suffering because of them. Because if they realize the simple thing that that whatever they are saying, they are doing it. Say something, they'll say something about, say, in the food, or say for example it was so spicy. Okay, if I'm just giving one example, then they will burn my hands for 3 straight hours that I'll need an ice bath. This is how they used to harass me. And I'm like, it wasn't as spicy even, because I know that my father-in-law, he cannot eat spicy. And if he was able to eat that spicy food, and if my mother-in-law is somehow feeling spicy about it, I'm like, you make even spicier food, than what, I served you. So out of nowhere, it's a very bizarre statement she will make. And I've seen her, as Tanutsudan says, that these people, they are being hacked by archons, these inorganic entities, because they are the NPCs or non-player characters. So and they are not even realizing what they are saying. So they will immediately hack these people, and they will make them say something. And so who knows if that is what happened at that particular time, because sometimes it's hard for me to differentiate, like, what is she as herself and what is the archons who is taking over her body as a vessel, because all these people are vessels for archons and inorganic entities. So once they take over their bodies, they can make them say anything they like. So it could be witchcraft too, like, in witchcraft they're telling these jinn and demons to take over the mind, body, and they will make them speak something, that. And so many times I noticed that she didn't even realize, and then I have to speak the same thing over and over again for so many times. I'm like, we just had this conversation. It's not like she has like these kind of Alzheimer's or something. No. So and like I told you, that guy, right? The guy, when we were in the Mexican restaurant, and we were just walking, and how this guy who was sitting alone eating his food, and we were a little further away from him, and he turned around where we were walking because his face was this side towards the street. He turned around and we were walking this way. He looked at us and he shouted, "Hey, do you know why you are on this earth, on this planet earth? What are you here for?" Like something like that, right? So it's like these bizarre statements people will speak, and these bizarre statements, that is what IntoWorlds.net has spoken about. They will just speak random things that makes no sense. The same thing Tanutsudan says, that these are inorganic ones. They will immediately hack. See, it is raining so much. Okay, look, it's raining right now. Okay, and still we have this guy who is here to just rev up the engine even in this rain. So anyway, so they will hack these people's body for that particular time, and then they'll just say some random things. So both Tanutsudan and IntoWorlds.net, both of them have explained the same concept. But then while they are being hacked, while these mind laws and all these, they are being hacked like this, these people find a way to use that hacking and the induced speech, I call it induced speech, to target me. Oh, and because from this targeting, they just want to humiliate me. They want to, after, the super interrogation is always something related to humiliation. So yes, usually my in-laws, they don't drink tea after 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. And it was almost like 6 o'clock, 5:45, 6 o'clock, okay? And I was making my tea. So I just asked her, because she was like right there, and she just said that, yeah, make my tea. And so I started to make her tea, and immediately, like the siren started. And I knew that, I know that they don't want me to make this tea. Oh, your mother-in-law is not making, drinking tea. Why are you making tea for her, right? So, but and then later, because I was making tea only for her, and she likes cinnamon, so I put cinnamon in there. And what happened was, again, even when I'm placing cinnamon, they continued their sirens more and more and more, right? The ambulance or fire truck sirens, whatever. They do it at a particular time. I told you so many times. So I know that they wanted to make issue about it. Oh, you don't make tea for your in-laws because they don't drink tea after 4 p.m. But now she wanted it. Okay. So, that's nothing. Because she herself has made tea even after 5 p.m. A few times. They drink rarely, but when they do, she has done it if she's feeling like it, But one cannot control what a person wills. A person feels. If she feels like drinking, she's gonna say yes, or else she's gonna say no. And then later she said, just make 1/4 cup, okay? So I was just making 1/4 cup for her. And then what happened was, the tea was, so then again, while I'm making the tea, it takes around 15-20 minutes to make my tea. Then the siren stopped. But now when the siren started is important. After 15-20 minutes, when I'm pouring the tea in my cup and in her cup, it was a little more. So the moment they saw it's more, I knew that immediately the siren started. Oh, look, that's a lot of tea in there, right? Obviously, they want to make issue, because what did my mother-in-law say? 1/4 cup. How much I poured? About 3/4 cup. So I'm like, okay, I knew I'm just going to, pour it either in my cup, or I'll just give it a little bit to my father-in-law if he wants it. He likes to have tea also, but it's like literally 1/4 cup, like very less I poured it. So basically they wanted to make issue about cinnamon, right? And so immediately then I come to my iPad to see, like, YouTube while I'm just sipping my tea. Immediately YouTube will come, oh, cinnamon, too much cinnamon is bad for you, it's like very toxic, or something like that, right? So they wanted to make issue about cinnamon that day. So this is how I tell you that so many times when I'm doing something and these people want to make issue about it, they will synchronize that particular, say it's cinnamon, and then they will show up that particular video in my YouTube. So many times I've seen these synchronizations. We already know that they are listening to our conversation, the YouTube and Facebook and all these, and this is how they display their videos, their advertisements, all of it, to synchronize. It's like AI. But how do you explain the videos that will show up on my page of YouTube page that synchronize with my thoughts, that I haven't spoken with anybody? I just didn't speak out loud to even to myself or to anybody else. Still, how is it synchronizing? So the only way to explain that is via archons or demons or gene demons, right? And that is what Elon Musk keeps saying. AI, dealing with AI is like summoning demons, right? And JW Workout Guy, I believe it was 5 years old video where he said that demons are running these machines, all of our machines that you see. And that is the only reason I can explain that my thought, if there is etheric implant, like witchcraft is being done and these interdimensional entities are out there watching me, they are hacking my mind, and then they are hacking the devices. You might have seen haunted movies, how they do all these synchronizations, these demons, gene demons, ghosts, whoever you want to call. They will immediately start calling a person, or they will mess up with all these electronics, right? They will start playing a video. It just doesn't make sense. Scientifically, it doesn't make sense, but a electronic device will come on, all that stuff. So same thing, they'll start playing a video that is related to my thoughts. So that is exactly what JW Workout Guy was explaining in his old video, 5 years old video, that there are jinn and demons that are running these machines. So that made all sense. That, why I'm seeing all these synchronizations, because it's not just AI that is doing all this. Okay, so yeah, basically I just wanted to show you how they gave me the bite and the burning of my foot, for all these little things that my in-laws do, and how they want to synchronize and and it's not just my in-laws, they do it even with my own parents, they do it with my hubby, they do it with anybody whom I come in contact with, doesn't matter who. Okay, so because as Tanutsudan says, all these people are being used as a vessel by archons, by interdimensional entities. They are temporarily, they will hack these people, they will say something or do something, like how my father-in-law, he took out the clothes and he placed it on the counter. There was no need to even take out the clothes from the washer, right? I mean, just leave it there, right? But these kind of stuff, it is directed by these very archons and interdimensional beings. And this can, and just because they are giving me these kind of bites after that, so if there's somebody in my place, they will start feeling very bad about, these very people. Oh, can't you just understand this part, that, your behavior is not logical, and that is impacting my life physically, because obviously these people are just finding that loophole to immediately attack me for small reasons. And this is nothing exactly but the super interrogation that Richard Boylan talks about. And don't forget, CIA Robert Duncan talks about improbable synchronizations. We can do improbable synchronizations, and that is exactly how they have given accidents to me, to my hubby, a lot of other stuff talking about synchronizations. Interworlds.net lady, she continuously has spoken about all her synchronizations and all of this on her website too. But I'm just gonna stop here.